There are forests in India that have been watching humans. For longer than humans have had words for forests. At the edge of this forest, there is a village. Between the world that follows rules and the world that makes its own. Her name was Priya. She had come from the city with a notebook and 11 years of studying plants. Most people would never see. There was a plant, recorded only twice in history, both times in this forest, both times never found again. The village elder looked at her, the way people look at someone they cannot stop, but feel they should warn. She thanked him. She took notes. She put her pack on her back and walked in. The trees closed behind her, almost immediately. She photographed everything. She forgot to pay attention to where she was going. She found it just before noon, exactly where she predicted. 3 years of work, one small purple flower. She stayed too long, not from carelessness, from the way time moves differently. When you have found the thing you came looking for. She consulted her compass. She chose a direction. She walked, and she was wrong. The light went slowly, and then all at once. She switched on her torch. The jungle had become something nocturnal. The forest at night is not the same forest. During the day, it is botany, and names and categories. At night, it becomes something more honest, a low sound felt in the chest before it reached the ears. Not a growl, not a roar, something between the two. Close, she saw the eyes first. 2 points of amber light, 30 meters ahead. Not moving, not blinking, just present. It stepped into the edge of her torchlight. She had studied them. She knew the taxonomy, the numbers. None of the numbers had prepared her for the actual animal. It did not move. It watched her, the way something watches when it has already decided something about the arrangement. She just didn't know what. Do not run. Maintain eye contact. Back away slowly. She had read all of this. She was doing all of it, with her heart doing things no training manual had prepared her for. It began to follow her, not closing the distance, just keeping it the same. 30 meters, no more, no less. As if the space between them was a decision. She ran. She knew she shouldn't. She ran anyway. Because that is what humans do. When the ancient parts of the brain take over from the careful ones, she changed direction. 3 times, 4 times. She ran through a stream. The tiger crossed it behind her without pausing. 30 meters, still 30 meters. She found a tree, she climbed. 10 meters up, she looked down. The tiger sat at the base, looking up, not circling, not trying to climb. Sitting, she stayed in that tree for 2 hours. The tiger did not leave. She told herself it was hunting her, that this was patience, that predators wait. And yet, something about the way it waited did not feel like predation. In the second hour, she noticed something. The tiger was not looking at her. It was watching the jungle, past her, beyond the tree. Not hunting, watching. There is a difference. The forest had gone quieter, not the quiet of peace. The quiet that happens when every other creature has already understood something. You haven't. She heard voices. 2 men moving without care. She heard metal. A trap. She heard one of them say something about the tiger. And she understood. They were carrying a cage trap, a tranquilizer rifle, and the particular confidence that comes from having done something many times before. They had come for the tiger. The tiger had known they were coming. Everything rearranged itself. The tiger following her. The tiger maintaining 30 meters. The tiger watching the jungle, not her. It had not been hunting her. It had been herding her, away from the men, into the tree, into safety. The tiger rose, slowly, the way mountains move, not because of force, because of intention so deep, it barely qualifies as a decision. It turned from the tree. It turned toward the men. She did something she had not planned, had not decided, had not in any way chosen. She screamed, not from fear, as a warning. The tiger had kept her safe for 2 hours, while no one had asked it to. The tranquilizer dart hit the tree, 3 feet from her head. She was not sure if he had been aiming at the tiger or at her. The tiger charged, not at the men, through them, the way water goes through a gap, because the gap is there, and the water is already moving. The men ran. They dropped their equipment. They dropped their confidence. They dropped the certainty that the forest owed them something. The jungle swallowed them, the way the jungle swallows everything. Eventually, the jungle breathed again. The insects first, then something calling from the canopy. Then the creek, which she had not noticed had gone quiet. Life resuming. The tiger came back to the tree. But it was different now. She was different. The space between a guardian and a charge is a different shape than the space between a hunter and its prey. She climbed down. She did not plan to. Her hands and feet simply began the descent. The same body that had run from this tiger, moving toward it. She stood on the ground, 3 meters from the tiger, and the body knew something the manuals didn't. It knew this specific tiger, in this specific night, and the body was not afraid. The tiger turned its body sideways, then looked back at her, over its shoulder, the way a guide does. She had heard of this, in folklore, in village stories, in accounts scientists file under unverifiable. She followed the tiger through the forest, at night, in a jungle she didn't know. Logic had no framework for this. She stopped trying to apply logic. She looked up. The stars. She had not seen them for hours. She had forgotten they were there. Above the canopy, above all of it, patient and ancient, the way only stars are patient. They arrived at a place she had no word for. A clearing, but not made by absence, made by presence. The tiger went to the water's edge. It lowered its head. It drank. Water is the great equalizer. Every living thing that needs it arrives at it the same way, with need, without pretense. She moved to the pool. She knelt. She cupped her hands. She drank. She looked across the water. The tiger looked up. 2 faces in the same pool, under the same moon. She saw the cub before the tiger moved. A small shape emerging from the roots, looking at her with eyes too young to have learned what humans are, what humans do. She understood everything again. The tiger had not simply been guarding the forest. It had been guarding this. The mother did not move between them. She watched. She allowed the cub to look. She allowed the woman to see. A tiger that trusts you with her cub is not a tiger that considers you a threat. It touched her hand with its nose. 1 brief cold contact, less than 2 seconds, and Priya, who had spent 11 years naming everything she found in nature, began very quietly to cry. The mother raised her head. The cub went still. The clearing connected again to the jungle beyond it. Something had shifted. The tiger made a sound, low and directed, a warning to whatever was out there. 3 of them, with equipment she couldn't name, but recognized the purpose of. The clearing was not a refuge. It was a destination, and they had followed her here. Priya stood up. She placed herself between the men and the tiger. A woman, a notebook, a dead torch, and 31 years of knowing what this was worth. The tiger stepped forward, not past her, to her side. One enormous animal and one woman, standing in moonlight, in front of a sacred pool, facing men who had come believing this forest belonged to them. She took out her satellite phone. She called the Forest Authority. She gave her name, her coordinates. She described the men. She spoke without looking away from them. The way you speak when you know someone is coming. The men left, not fleeing. The retreat of people who have recalculated and found the calculation no longer works in their favor. Dawn came, without asking, without announcement. The tiger's orange coming back, the pool reflecting a sky, moving through violet toward gold. She had survived the night. She had not expected to feel surprised by this. At the last tree, before the forest swallowed them completely, the tiger stopped and looked back at her. One long look. In the early morning light, she said thank you, out loud to a tiger in an Indian forest at dawn. The tiger turned and was gone. She never told anyone what happened in that forest. Not because they wouldn't believe her, because some things aren't meant to be explained. They're meant to be carried. The tiger never followed her out. It belongs to the dark, to the part of the world that has no interest in being understood. Some of the things you are running from are running beside you.